Hey guys! Okay, hold on. Let me make sure that I can see this stuff. One moment. Okay, here we go. Let me mute myself. Okay, so today I woke up and my portfolio was a bloodbath. I lost thousands of dollars today. I was not happy, but then I had to figure out what was going on. Why is the stock market down? Now I know people will go out and be like, Erica, the end is coming. Sell everything. Sell, 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 sell. Okay, first of all, I don't believe it's basically Armageddon right now. I think that the reason why the stock market went down is because of overblown fears. And I also wanted to talk to you guys about why the Chinese stocks were going down as well. So, let's talk about this. Look at this. It's a sea of red, except VIX over here. So, unfortunately, ARK is not doing so well. I'm losing money on that, but it's okay. Kathy always said it was a couple-year hold, not a big deal. Okay, so let's look at what is going on here. Once again, as I've always said, definitely not financial advice. This is just me talking about my thoughts here. Okay, so stocks fall on Friday to cap tumultuous week of trading from new COVID variant threat. So they talk about people are worried about this Omni thing. I mean, that's a scary name. Something like Delta didn't sound so scary. Is it just me? The Omni stuff sounds more like, ooh, ominescence or something like that. Ominous fears. I just can't take it very seriously. I hate to say it that way. You know, we've already been through what, two, what's closures of sorts. Just it's kind of boring to me. I understand that people will say, but wait, Erica, we should do this because we want to save lives. Look, we've already done that in the past. It's still around. The truth of the matter is, I think that there's going to be a lot of variations, and as much as people want to believe that it will just go away someday, it will not go away. And the reason why it will not go away is because it's constantly mutating. You see? Like it's not just like, okay, this week versus next week, but you're going to have new variants coming across from other parts of the world, moving over to the United States or moving cross borders because people are traveling by boat, by airplane, by car. It's a matter of, it's unless you have everybody living in a bubble, unless you have closed borders, unless you're making sure that people are quarantining at home, like extreme lockdown, actually, you won't. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. Tell me I'm wrong if you guys want, but like I said, the U.S. already did it. Yes, the numbers went down, but we still have it. And we have a lot of people getting the pokey pokes too. I got my 2 pokey pokes. I got the M1, and when I still hear about all this stuff, when I still see people all like, oh my gosh, we need to stay 6 feet away. We need to make sure that, oh, what if I get sick? It's just like, I don't want to live a life having fears. I don't think that is right at all. I think that some people just, when they hear this kind of stuff, the new variant, they just freak themselves out for whatever reason, and it's not good. So I think the whole Omni thing completely overblown. The stock market will recover 100% on that one. Okay, so the technology stocks, unfortunately, technology stocks are going down. Tesla, surprise, surprise. I mean, people felt like Tesla was overinflated. You guys know Tesla goes up a lot, but Tesla also goes down a lot. Right now, from what I saw, it's still hovering about $1,000. So even though 6.4% hurts, I'm not worried about it because I think, well, let me see what my average price is on Tesla. Let's see here. My average price on Tesla is $328.49. So yeah, if it goes down 5%, 6%, 10%, 20%, not a big deal to me. Okay, so we also see Zoom, DocuSign, like I'm kind of surprised DocuSign cratered so much. I think DocuSign is, from what I know about DocuSign, it's around, but I can't imagine it being so terrible that the stock had to go down that much. But most people aren't trading DocuSign. I feel bad for DocuSign shareholders, but then again, why are you investing into DocuSign as a long-term hold instead of a more stable company? I don't like investing into small companies. I like investing into bigger cap companies for a reason. And maybe DocuSign is really huge, but it's not on my radar kind of thing. So, yikes, 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 yikes. Okay. So then there's also people talking about the hotels, Delta, Norwegian, Carnival. I've heard some people say Wynn is a really good holding. I think Kramer is recommending people buy Wynn. I would not get into that sector. That's just me. I don't like anything that could be prone to being shut down. Something like a casino, something like a cruise ship. In the event that they have another closure of sorts, these places are going to be taking a hit, right? Nobody is going to want to stay on a 3-week cruise if people are saying, oh, well, what about the Omni stuff? Oh, yeah, let's not go on the cruise. So that kind of stuff. I don't like investing into these stuff, even though people will tell me, oh, yeah, it's an opportunity. Just wait. Again, all this kind of closure stuff, possible lockdowns, that stuff, no, I don't want any of that. So let's talk about the November job report, right? November job report. They wanted 573,000 jobs. Unfortunately, it was just 210,000 jobs for the month. It sucks, it sucks, but at least unemployment went down. I think some people, they just kind of say, F it, I don't want to go get a job. Maybe they don't. I think some people, they look at the wages and they just say, screw it, let me try to do my own thing. I don't want to get paid for pennies, especially because rent is so expensive, housing is so expensive, groceries are so expensive. And you guys know, right? I really feel for certain employers, especially non-union employers, I feel that some of the jobs, it can be very stressful because the companies might want to cut down workforce to save them money, but they're not going to be giving people more money. And that's just my stance on things. I think that a business, and I've shared this with you guys, right? Businesses are not charities. Just because you want to make a lot of money doesn't mean the business is under any obligation to give you a lot of money. For example, let's say you want to go and work in the restaurant industry. You want to be a busser, right? Or let's not even say busser. Let's say you want to be a receptionist, right? Let's say you really want to be a secretary or something like that. You could say, man, I'm really pissed off because my boss only pays me $16 an hour. I want $25 an hour. So you look for jobs and you look at secretaries and you find out a lot of secretaries are only making about what you're making. You get mad, but really it's up to the company to pay you whatever they deem to be fair. They are under no obligation to make you rich. This is one of the reasons why I've told people several times, many times actually, look into getting another revenue stream in terms of income, because if you depend on your boss, do not be surprised if your boss says, oh, hey, thanks for doing a good job. Oh, yeah, due to the what, we're going to have to cut your pay or we can't give you a raise for 3 years. I've known several people where they have not been able to get raises for a couple years. This is even before the closures. Okay, this is even before this stuff appeared in the U.S. There are companies, these big companies, were saying we're not going to give you a raise for 3 years because we're trying to, because of profit or something like that. And it was a management decision, and people have the ability to say, do you want to continue working at that job or do you want to quit? A lot of people would say, oh, okay, yeah, I guess I won't get a raise for 3 years. And then what happens? Your employees, your fellow employees leave, and then your boss will be like, oh, well, you should, yeah, it sucks that, you lost some of your staff, but you should be thankful that you have a job and we want you to put in more work or work a little faster, but we can't pay you more. We can't pay you more because times are tough for the company. Just screw that. You guys can kind of tell. Like, I really think a lot of jobs are kind of exploitative. I don't think a lot of jobs treat people well. But again, they're under no obligation. If you don't like your job, quit or move to another job or make your own job or find another revenue stream, because your boss is under no obligation to make you rich. Okay. No. Well, here's the thing, right? So Emily says people want 90 per hour, but is that person worth 90 per hour? People need to increase their value. If you work at something like a service job, like a receptionist, secretary, wait staff, sales, let's say you work in a department store, people could say up and down, oh, I feel like I'm worth $30 an hour because then I'm a hard worker. But your boss doesn't have to pay you that much. Your boss could say, hey, you're not happy with $13 an hour? Don't worry. Don't let the door hit your ass. I'll find someone else quickly. All they got to do is put a help wanted sign, and then there'll be a bunch of people who will be like, yeah, I'll work for $13 an hour. I want to work at this department store. So sometimes I think people, they kind of have this feeling like they're irreplaceable. But from what I pick up is people are very replaceable in a number of jobs unless you have a specialized field. Yeah, you could be, if you die tomorrow, your boss can replace you tomorrow. And it's not like the business is going to be on its knees saying, oh, so-and-so quit. Oh, we can't run anymore. No. So just going off into that, right? I think this is one of the reasons why when I look at the job numbers thing, when I factor that in mind, I'm like, yeah. Maybe employers don't want to hire too much because they feel, well, let's just put it on our current workforce. Let's see how they fare. And yeah, if anybody quits, they'll just put in another hiring, we're hiring sign. Okay. So, you guys heard about I don't know if you guys heard about this, but one of the reasons why the Chinese stocks are going down today is because of Didi. So, Didi is basically like an Uber. And if you look at Uber, okay, so it's basically like Uber. There's been several companies in China that kind of they kind of try to follow or be the US equivalent. So Didi was Uber, Neo is Tesla, JD is Amazon, for example, right? And this company, Didi, they announced today they're not gonna be on the New York Stock Exchange. They want to just be on the Hong Kong Exchange. I've been hearing that some people say, well, maybe the stocks will transfer onto the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Other people say maybe the company will buy out who knows, maybe they want to go private. But there's a lot of things up in the air. Now, the problem with this whole thing is people were wondering, why is Didi trying to delist from the New York Stock Exchange? They don't know. It's never been announced. But they said they want to do it immediately. And look at this. Let me see. So Didi share price sank 22%. I feel bad for the Didi stockholders. I was never into Didi. I've never wanted to invest into Uber, for example. But I remember hearing that Uber doesn't make money. So why would I want to put my money into Didi? And see all this stuff? They plan to convert it into free tradable shares, and we'll see how the price goes over here. So they imagine that a lot of people are going to be moving out, and then people are just kind of blaming China about it, because here's the thing. China has been cracking down. You guys know, for instance, Alibaba. I mentioned Alibaba many times before, but Alibaba, look at this. He did critical comments about Chinese regulators. After he made these comments, he went missing for about 4 months. Like, he's not really missing, but he wasn't seen in the public for a couple months. People were wondering, where is Jack Ma? Where is Jack Ma? So the stock price was going down. And it caused a lot of distrust, because people thought, whoa, my gosh, what if the Chinese government is focused on destroying Alibaba or sending a message? In fact, I've been hearing that some people said that what China did to Alibaba, they wanted to send a message that they wanted their other companies, the other big tech companies, to fall in line. So JD, you guys know, right? One of my biggest holdings in my portfolio is JD. JD has always been that kind of company where they say, okay, whatever China says, we are not going to go against China. If China says they want to make sure that there's compliance, like they'll be the first one. They'll be one of the first ones to pledge. For like digital yuan, for instance, they're like, okay, you guys want to try it? We'll try it too. Now, mind you, I think Didi did the whole digital yuan thing, but there's something with Didi. I don't know what it was. I heard it was financials that really got them on the wrong foot with China. So see over here. Where is it over here? See, so it was a thing, something about a security data, and I'm gonna show you guys this really quickly. So Didi has not been doing good. You can see this part over here. Let me pull it up. Okay, here we go. Didi's bumpy ride since listing in New York. So you can see, when was this? July 4th or so. See, they went up. They IPO'd at 14 and went up. And then China Cyberspace Administration starts an investigation. That is not good for any stock. Okay, Alibaba, when they were getting scrutinized by the China government, that was like the sign that the stock was starting to go down. Alibaba used to be at like 300, and then it tanked down, and I'll show you what Alibaba's stock is now. But I just feel bad for any Didi holders and Alibaba holders. But let's talk about. See, so China Cyberspace Administration starts investigation, and then almost immediately they suspended the Didi app downloads, and then they wanted to do penalties against Didi. Look at this, in less than a month, right? You could already see China's like, whoa, they're doing a number on Didi. And then Didi co-founder leaves, July, 2 months later. And then they wanted to relaunch it in China, and then Didi delist. That is not good. Now, why was China so against Didi? I have no idea, but they said that there was a history of compliance problems and scrutiny over unlicensed vehicles and part-time drivers. So you're telling me the fact that they had some unlicensed vehicles and part-time drivers caused the China Cyberspace Administration to go in immediately after they IPO'd? Kind of suspicious to me. Who knows? So there was other stuff too. See, so the ride-hailing business was only 20 to 30% over here. I don't know too much about Didi, but that's what I've been hearing about. But the fact that this happened so quickly, and they don't say why they're delisting, people think that China's involved. And that's why people have fears about other Chinese companies like Alibaba, JD. They're worried that what if their stock gets delisted, and if the price for, let's say, Alibaba tanks 20% or so, right? People are going to say, screw it. I don't want to invest in these Chinese stocks at all. People might see this as one of those warning signs that may happen in the future, and that's why some people are just like leaving Chinese stocks. So let's look at JD stock today. Oh, it went down almost 8%. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So you could see, right, my 6-month chart, there was hope, but you could see the bottom over here, 63, 69, 77. I was on a pretty good momentum, going back up, and we're back over here. So do I think JD is going to surge up? Yes, I do. I'm not worried about JD. Even if it goes down a little, I think where is it? I think what's my average? My average is $47.03, so I'm okay. You know, I got quite a bit of cushion. I got about 64% cushion right now. Actually, I want to say 54% because I don't want to sell at a cost if it does go down. But, you know, like I have quite a bit of cushion, and I don't expect JD to tank so much. This is just because I've been holding JD since 2018. And let's look at BABA. Remember yesterday BABA was 122. Today BABA is 111. Oh, it's just going down. Look at this chart. Oh, ouchie. So let's look at the 5-year chart. I bought it around, I forgot what price I bought it, but I know I sold it around 221 or so. And then you could see it, right, wherever I bought it. I forgot what the average price was. It went up to 304, and then it started retracting back. I started getting scared because I thought, frick, where's Jack Ma? Where's Jack Ma? And yeah, eventually I just could not hold on. So wherever that whole Jack Ma thing happened, it just made me think to myself, I don't want to hold a stock and I have to think about where the CEO is. JD.com, they've also been embroiled in some scandal in regards to the CEO. He was alleged to have had charges in the U.S. where he allegedly did the R thing to a woman. That they did an investigation, they didn't find anything, but the woman is pursuing civil charges. The other thing with that is that he stepped down as CEO. So that was Richard Liu. And now there's a new CEO, however, taking a playbook from Bezos, right? Richard Liu is he's not the CEO, but he's still working for JD. So JD really mirrors itself like Amazon, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen to JD in the future. I think it will be a stronger company. I don't think they're going to be delisted. I think JD, when you couple the fact that what happened with their CEO got them a lot of scrutiny, they want to have a squeaky clean image. Whenever I thought about JD, I always thought it evoked this image of like purity or making sure that they're doing the right thing. And as a result of that, I really don't think JD will ever position themselves to be in like in a Baba situation or a Didi situation. I think they're going to be on the good side of regulators. So, because Baba is just tanking so hard, look at this, 20% in the last 5 years. 48% and down in the past 6 months. Let's see, 58% in the last year. Okay, so some people I read it, right? People were like, "Oh, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip for Alibaba." Well, look at this person. GoFundMe. They have 56,172 500 shares of Alibaba. Average cost $190. And well, now it's 111. So they have been losing lots of money, and they're doing a GoFundMe trying to get people to help them out. Now, look at this. I know this is just kind of like a joke because their goal is 100 million, but it kind of just tells you something, right? It tells you that there are a lot of people who are just holding onto the stocks, hoping that it'll go up. My suggestion is, and of course, right, definitely not stock advice here, just my thoughts. If you hold on to any Chinese stock, I would not want to put myself through the mental headache of dealing with Alibaba stock. I would not want to put my stress on holding a lot of these stocks at this prices because there's definitely a chance that it can go down. I personally believe that unless you're already invested in Chinese stock and you have a good cushion, you're better off dealing with an American stock. So, for instance, right? You guys will probably roll your eyes again, and that's okay. Apple stock did not do so bad today. Look at that. Look at this guy. The stock market is not doing so well. Look at that. Look at the little apple. Oh, yeah. So some like U.S. tech company is much better in my opinion than doing with these Chinese companies because you don't have to deal with Apple delisting on the New York Stock Exchange anytime soon, and that's just my thinking about it. If you are invested into the stock market, whether it be JD, Apple, Baba, just don't be surprised if the stock goes down. But my personal opinion will be JD will recover. I think Baba, I would not be surprised if it goes down like $99 or so. It's going to hurt. But after a while, I think Baba will recover. But will Baba delist? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say because I don't know what kind of stress or strain was going on Didi. But the fact that you feel like Alibaba's getting targeted by the Chinese government, it's just... I would not be surprised if they delist. I hope Alibaba doesn't delist, but if they do, you guys know JD.com is going to the stock's going to go down if Alibaba delists because they're going to say, look, Didi delisted. If Alibaba delists, then people will naturally say JD.com is going to be delisting. It's a matter of time. Time for a gamma squeeze with Didi. Buy lots of FAR. out the money call options, weekly expiration, run the same book as Tesla. I would not do anything with Didi. I don't want to touch Didi with like a 10-foot pole. I like I said, I don't want to deal with the stress of dealing with a Chinese company. That's just my personal feeling. If some people think that, hey, this is a risky play and they feel comfortable, good on them. But you have to ask yourself, do you want to put yourself in all that stress and then have to wonder, hey, is this company going to get delisted? Oh, what's going to happen? What's going to be the transition move? A lot of people are losing faith in Chinese stocks, and I completely understand why. But yeah, thank you so much, Competent Man, for the donation. So overall, right? Overall, stock market right now, I do think that the stock market, because it is down, I see it as a buying opportunity. People will disagree with me on here, but I really do believe. Okay, I don't want to show JD. I don't want anybody. I hate to say it this way, but I don't want anybody having to deal with the stress of Chinese stocks unless they're really confident in the Chinese stock. I would not have this stance if I did not have a good profit margin from JD. So that's why I continue to hold on this kind of stuff. But if you look at like U.S. stocks, they're gonna weather the storm so much better. So we will see. We will see what happens. I would recommend, if anybody is in the stocks right now because everything is going down, think about averaging down. Don't go all in today. Okay. I mean the stock market's actually already closed. It's freaking time zone. But I'd say don't go all in right now because you don't know if it's going to go lower. If it does go lower, then you can average down. If it does go higher, then you can average up. But if you do see a stock go down, let's say 5 or 7 or 8%, understand that you have to ask yourself, like, why did you invest into that stock? For me, I'm a long, so I'm not worried about a stock going down 2-3%. And seeing, basically my portfolio be blood red today, oh, it's just painful. It just kind of makes me think to myself, like, yikes. Ouch. Can you imagine how it would be if I invested all into these stocks yesterday and then I see the thing go down? It would scare a number of people to never ever invest into the stock market. And these kind of days, right? These kind of days that you're seeing, like today, this is one of the reasons why people are reinforced to not invest into the stock market, because they say, oh, I heard the stock market went down. Oh, I heard DocuSign went down like 40 something percent. And then they will just tell themselves, this is why I can't invest into the stock market, because I don't want to be like the DocuSign people. And it's like, well, I would not recommend DocuSign anyway. And you have to understand that whatever you invest in, it goes up, but it also goes down. And so I will be continuing on with my day. I'm not going to be looking at the stocks and then think, oh, I'm gonna lose all my money because I lost thousands of dollars today. No. And yeah, it's just like today's not so great day on the stock market. However, if you do see it another way, you could see this as a buying opportunity. And I do have auto invest in some of these stocks, so if the stocks do continue to drop when I do have my auto invest kick in, then that's averaging down for me, right? So it works out, that kind of stuff. I don't have any plans on getting the booster at all. I don't want to be. I just got my second shot like a couple months ago, so I don't want to get my booster immediately. But even if I did, there's a point where I have to ask myself, do I want to keep getting this booster over and over and over and over? Because again, I don't think COVID is going to be disappearing anytime soon. I think we're going to have COVID for a long time, like years. I don't see there is going to be a way to eradicate it because there will always be new variants. And Competent Man says, buy the dip. It's always a buying opportunity. Good news, buy. Bad news, buy. No news, buy. Printer goes there. No. You gotta like, if you always bought the dip, can you imagine how much dips you would have for it? Alibaba stock? You'd have tons of dips. Like, that's scary. Like, You imagine, right, when it started dipping over here, 226 or so, the people were like, oh my goodness, I got such a great deal. Oh, I'm making money. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, we're back over here. Let's buy more. And then it didn't, went up a little. And then you're like, oh no, wait, go back to 220. No, no. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe some people are still averaging down for Alibaba. It's just too much stress for me. That's why I got out of Alibaba. Docu. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, gosh. 42%. Also, the CEO says he's going to be buying the stock. Look at that. It actually looked like a pretty good company. But I don't know, was the earnings that bad that they just had to drop 42%? Oversold? Very well could have been, but it's not, even if it's oversold, I don't feel comfortable holding DocuSign because I'm afraid that what if they have next earnings and it drops X%, right? Like, what caused people to just mass sell DocuSign? I don't know. That's kind of scary. So all this stuff, this is stuff that you kind of hear about, and yeah, I wish you the best in your investments if you are investing in the stock market. Whatever it is, though, right? I'd say don't invest money that you can't afford to lose, because I know some people will say, let's give an example, right? I got $500 in my bank account, so I'm going to put $450 into the stock market because I want to get rich, okay? If you do that, actually, let's not do that. Let's say $4,000, right? Let's say the person has like $4,500 in their bank account. They say they want to put $4,000 in the stock market. In the event that their stocks go down 10-20%, they're gonna feel the pain 100%. Like, can you imagine putting $4,000 in the stock account? You have $500 left in your bank account. You look at your stock and you lose $800. So your $4,000 turns into $3,200. That is a sickening feeling. And I think that unless you feel comfortable possibly losing your money, like, don't invest, because I don't want investing cutting out some people's life, like happiness life. So investing is not for everybody, but it's for me, as you guys know, because I've been doing this, holding on to my stocks for quite some time. I mean, I invested into JD. Look at this. I invested into JD, and my average is 47, right? So I bought it almost at the top. But remember how I told you about the CEO and his charges? It caused JD to drop all the way down to 19. And that was one of my first big investments. And imagine how sick I felt when I see it, and it's like, man, I invested it in February, and then my the stock that I bought drops 50%. Like, it's not a good feeling. Less than a year later, like 6 months later. So me going through all that, right? I can tell you from personal experience, once you start seeing your money like drop down 50%, that's not a good feeling. But I held and I held and I held and I held, and you could see how long I had to hold before it started going up again. Right? Like 2 years, and then now it's going back up, but it's only because I held from here all the way up to here. And I don't lose faith into JD. I think that it could be bumpy, but I really don't see JD delisting or anything like that. I don't want to call them a goody two shoes, but I kind of feel like they are becoming goody two shoes. They're not going to screw it up. Especially, I think JD has a stance where they don't sell fakes, and the Chinese government, I believe, likes it, because one thing about Alibaba, there were a lot of like counterfeiters selling on that platform. Third-party people. So the fact that I think JD sells directly to consumers, and it ensures authenticity, that's a good thing. It's kind of regulated in that sense. So when people buy into like a JD product, right? Let's say they buy, I don't know, like a luxury bag from JD, they know it's authentic. It's not like a knockoff. So all that stuff, right? What's gonna happen? I'm very optimistic about it. The one company that I'm a little worried about is Tesla, because I think that there are people who just kind of went all in on Tesla, and I think the stock will go up, but I just don't know how quickly it will return back to its like previous price. Because before, right, it was at, how much was it before? Like $1,229. Now it's closer to like $1,010. It doesn't seem like that much, right? But it's like a 20% down, I believe, or so. And yeah, all that thing, right? Are people who invested in Tesla because it shot up? They could be like really having a lot of anxiety because they say, oh, man, I bought this stock when it was 1,200, and now it's 1,010. Is it gonna go up, and how long is it gonna take go up? What goes up really fast can go down really fast. So if Tesla goes down to like a 950 or so, I won't be surprised. You're gonna have a lot of people who just like kind of get shaken out of the stock market, and then they'll curse the stock market, and then they'll say, I invested money into the stock market and I lost money and I sold my stocks, and then yeah, maybe it'll go down a lot, but then maybe it'll go back up. So yeah, I will never be one of those people who bets against Apple. 1,000%. Never ever would I bet against Apple. Um, so okay, you guys. Um, yeah, I don't know what's Wes and Ziamaro's talking about, but I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for the donations, by the way, competent man. I hope that I hope DocuSign goes up for those shareholders, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. I think it will recover. I really do, but I don't feel comfortable holding it on the ride back up because, as I mentioned, right, I'm afraid that next earnings it could drop down again. Maybe not as much, but it's not a company that I feel comfortable holding as long. And I want to make sure that I don't have too much companies that I'm just adding on there just because I'm thinking like, oh, okay, let me make some quick gains. Is all the companies that I invest in moving forward, because there are some companies that I just kind of like meme stocks like GME. I don't want to invest in companies that I really don't that I'm that I don't I'm not confident if it's going to be around in 5 years or so. JD is one of them that I'm confident in. Apple is one of them. Tesla, I'm actually very optimistic about. What else? Apple, I have zero concerns about Apple. And yeah, so you guys take care. I shall see you.